Good morning, afternoon, evening, whatever time zone it is at your Foundation site. Welcome to another coffee break with Dr. Sherman. Make sure you're caffeinating and hydrated. It's probably going to be a long one today. Dr. Nikita, hello to you too. I'm just making sure all of my settings are in order. Since I think Desk is still feeling under the weather, he might not be visiting us today. There we go. Boom. Alex, good to see you in the chat. Thank you for being a member, as well as Ansen. You hang out, enjoy your RP session with your friends. Don't let us bother you too much. Pikachu is cute. Thank you for being a member and good to see you. Kat, Dr. Chaos, Redacted Cosplays, Sealman Gaming. Hello, everyone. Welcome to our coffee break. Yes, it is 4:08 on the East Coast of the United States, and we are here on the West Coast at 1:08 p.m. Sometimes the testing day begins in the afternoons. That's the normal when you work the night shift. And Logan, thank you for subscribing to Site 42. Welcome to our staff. Cerberus, good to see you, and thank you for being a member. Rudy, thank you for donating. The first donation of today's stream. Make sure to grab yourself a coffee at the commissary as you go by. And hello. Important, he always says his favorite SCPs at the end. You are correct, Alex. That is excellent for you to keep tabs on what's going on so that people know. Ansen, oh, it's an SCP RP. Well, I'm sure how appropriate then. Your pal Mystery, good to see you this morning / afternoon. Thank you for your first donation to today's stream. Grab yourself an espresso on your way past the commissary. Hello, Dr. Sherman, how are the anomalies doing? Well, I don't know yet. This morning was all archival work for me, so I was just in the stacks doing recordings and things like that. Now I'm out on stakeout, and it's not a dangerous stakeout today. I just gotta monitor this person of interest and see where they end up so that the agents can make the extraction. After that, I'll go back to the lab and run some tests this evening. So, busy day. Origami, good to see you in the chat. Thank you for being a member. I have a problem. I threw 049 down 30 stairs. Is he meant to have a broken neck? Also, he stole your cookie. Puppeteer, I feel like you didn't throw 049 downstairs. You just threw one of your coworkers who is dressed as a plague doctor for the holiday. So, you shouldn't have done that. That was a poor plan, and now you need to take him to medical immediately. I made cat ears for SCP-169. The Leviathan is so big. And so the cat ears you must have made for such an entity must be larger than like the sails on a ship. They might be like football field sized cat ears. Somehow I guess, is your engineering skill that grand? Is all I can wonder. 1 million subs, good job. Thank you, Parker GH. That's actually why we started these daily streams. Just a little 45 minutes to 3 hours a day to say hey, catch up, answer your questions and such. Noel, thank you for your first donation to today's stream. Make sure to grab yourself a frap on your way past the commissary. The Global Occult Coalition has stolen SCP-500 from the CI. Well, that's not possible. We have SCP-500, not the Chaos Insurgency. So, it must have been some off-brand duplicate that they've been trying to formulate. And so I look forward to whatever is going to terribly happen to them taking bootleg pills. The Computer Guy, good to see you in the chat today. Thank you for being a member. Hi, you're definitely much earlier this time. What time is it for you? How much time is left in the stream? So, right now it is currently 1:12 p.m. in the west coast of the United States, where Site 42 is located. And I am going to be active for another approximately 33 minutes. At about a quarter till, I have to get back onto the path of this stakeout. Right now they're eating Chinese food, so I've got a little time. Origami, thank you for being a member. Good to see you. Hi, Doctor. I'm so sorry for the confusion. I decided to start my writing and added you to the thing without proper communication. I'm so sorry. Yes, that happens a lot, actually. I should make it known to everybody, just in case. I do not accept Discord friend requests if I don't know who you are IRL at this point, or looking at people's drafts. Because with 1 million subscribers, there's so many of you. I love you guys, but it's like an avalanche. And if I answered every Discord friend request or draft edit request, I would drown. And so to avoid that, I almost don't get to do that stuff very often because I'm always busy as it is. So I am sorry in advance if you message me on Discord and I ignore it, or if I don't look at your draft immediately or at all, because there's just so many notifications. I am very sorry. It's part of the curse of getting to this size of YouTube, I guess, is that you have to start dealing with your time very nitpicky or else it disappears. I've been watching a lot of behind the scenes talks with YouTubers I follow, like Matt, Pat, and Markiplier, and their daily routines and how they cope with it. There is a regimentation like you won't believe. And I'm already a pretty routine-oriented guy, but I have to step up my game if I'm going to keep it up in the big leagues. So, apology accepted, my friend. Take care. Also, just future tip, no one wants to read your draft until you're done with it. Keep an eye on that. You don't want to show someone a draft for notes until you think it's mostly good enough to post. Like 90% done, and then you're like, okay, tell me what your notes are, and then take that and retool again. You don't want people in the process from the beginning, because that's more like you're writing it together, and you have to ask them for that. Skibby Buddy, you have been shouted out. I hope it was everything that you hoped it would be. Hello, Site44. Good to see you in the chat. Thank you for being a member. Hello, Amber. Good to see you at the chat. Thank you for being a member. Caught you at work again. Hey, if you're at work, at least you are feeling better. My foot is doing okay for the 3 to 4 minutes I'm allowed to walk per day. It is still frustrating, but my MRI is coming up at the end of the month. We'll figure out the health insurance stuff for that. Geez, God bless America. But we'll get more notes on how to fix it then. People keep saying Achilles tendon injuries take 3 to 6 months to a year to recover. Right now we're about 6 months, so I'm only mildly worried because it's my living that I need to be able to walk and dance, but one day at a time, one step at a time. Rudy Ramos, thank you for your first donation to today's stream. Make sure to grab yourself a breakfast sandwich on your way past the commissary. The Nerf gun is not really a Nerf gun. Like, oh, my coworker is bothering me. It would be worse if she was $1 million. The Nerf gun is not really a Nerf gun like, oh, my coworker is bothering me. It would be worse if he or she was $1 million. Well, it would be nice if it worked like that. I mean, I guess not for turning people into money, but most people value money above all else. It's a problem with our society. And therefore, the Nerf gun would almost never produce money, or at least more money. It would always produce less money if you shot it like that. So, yes, a shame. It's not what's the opposite of nerfing? In gamer terms, what's the opposite of nerfing? When you have to nerf something, you make it worse. I don't actually know what it's called when you do the opposite. Chat, you got any thoughts on this? Buff, thank you. Corwin, Taylor, and Lawnman Con. You're the first ones I saw saying buffing. And you're right, thank you. I knew that, but it just was the neurons in the brain haven't used that part in a while. Origami, I will tell you, the tweak that I saw, you're not quite in the format that I can tell. But you'll want to start writing on a sandbox rather than a Google Doc, because Google Docs don't format the same way that the Wiki Sandbox does, and we use the Wiki Sandbox because it's the Wiki. Beyond that, you need to study a lot of SCP documents to format them in a manner that makes sense to Wiki documents. So compare your draft to the ones on the Wiki and see what you can glean informationally from that. Oops, wrong button. Let's come back. Back again. Other menu. Find my friends. Silent Follower, thank you for your first donation to today's stream. Make sure to grab yourself a scone on your way past the commissary. Afternoon, Dr. Sherman. Well, afternoon to you. Oh, and thank you for being a member as well, if I didn't say that. Samuel, thank you for your first donation to today's stream. Make sure to grab yourself a cappuccino on your way past the commissary. We have an outbreak of SCP-162 in New Jersey. SCP-162. Nope, don't do that. 162. Take away the J. Oh, is this the, yeah, the metal ball. You have a metal ball outbreak? I only thought there was one. A single mass. It must have breached containment. That must be what you mean. So, well, we better get that back in a box. Yeah, we don't even have a recapture policy on the main article, so we're gonna have to call the mobile task force in and tell them to hope for the best. How would you suggest containing SCP-162, the ball of sharp? Like, not containing it in a box, we can do that, but recapturing it while it's in the wild. I guess it's not alive, it doesn't move. So, as long as we need people with a high enough cognitive resistance value to resist touching it. That's part of it. And then we need to, I guess, in case, yeah, we just got to get a truck. We just got to get a truck big enough because it's only 8 feet by 7 feet. So if we get a truck and we're able to bring some sort of metal siding to prop it into the truck, that shouldn't be too hard to get it in containment. Surmising that the mobile task force in question has a strong enough cognitive resistance value to not be pulled in. You do not recognize the sharp in the ball, after all. Your pal Mystery, thank you for, is this your second donation? Yes, it is. I prefer archival duty than dealing another day with SCP-1471-A. She's gotten really confident and won't let go of my hand. Well, first of all, it's gotten really confident. It's an anomaly. It's not a human. Anomalous entities are objects. They are not he, she, or them. They are its. Get your pronouns right. Secondly, yes, that is not good. How is it holding your hand? 1471s are intangible. That sounds like a bigger problem there, that it's corporeal. And thirdly, yeah, archive duty's a mood. It's some peace and quiet for once. Very restorative. It's like meditation, honestly. Noel, thank you for donating again. High radiation has been detected near the Alps. Is that unusual? Could it be an aurora? A radioactive aurora? If I look up SCP in the Alps, O25, a Gothic Revival Inn in the Eastern Alps. 7347, a massive underground space station located beneath one of the peaks. 5050, a high-frequency signal, and a town unaffected by the signal are near the Alps. And 5140, a series of unburied instances have been observed in the mountains. So, you know, honestly, there's so many anomalies near the Alps in the first place. I'm not shocked there's another one. So, yeesh. Send someone to take care of it. Or at least get some data so we know what we're dealing with. Samuel, thank you for donating again. I guess to clarify, 164, huh? Well, let me go back to 162 and change that. Cultures of 164 should be contained using Class 3 biohazardous procedures. Strain of cancerous cells that causes sarcoma-like tumors in host bodies. While cell DNA appears to be primarily derived from human DNA, the cells now effectively exist as a unicellular, asexually reproducing parasites. Several characteristics. The only parasitic transmittable cancer known to infect humans. Tumors produced by 164 will grow larger than a certain size will. Oh, okay. Follow normal behavior for cancerous sarcomas. In 25% of cases, host bodily materials will be utilized for the creation of a new, separate organism inside the tumor. In the case of multiple tumors, some or all may follow this behavior. Said organisms will apparently begin as zygotes and replicate much like fetuses. Externally, this appears no different from normal tumor production and may go unnoticed. Mature organisms identify as being completely unrelated to original tumors, corresponding with a previously unknown species of squid. So cancer that becomes squids. Well, I don't like that. All right, so yes, if that's happening in New Jersey, we're gonna need a burn unit stat. We need to lock that down before it spreads. So, yep, get the Maz Hatters on it quickly. Silken Emperor, thank you for what I believe is your first donation to today's stream. Make sure to grab yourself a flat white on your way past the commissary. How would you handle a Hound of Tindelos if it was hunting you? I feel like I've spoke about this month. It seems to be a popular anomaly to bring up, but it must have been a while ago because I don't remember the last time I talked about it or anything about it. I'm sure when I see its stats, it will come to me again. Fictional creatures be created by Frank Belknap Long, later incorporated into the Cthulhu mythos. Hounds of Tindelos. Hostile species of interdimensional dog-like creatures created by Frank. Yeah. Come on, Skipnet. Work with me here. We really need to update our data pads. It's the problem with the planned obsolescence. It works for a couple of months and then it slows down on you again. You'd think we'd have the technology and finances to fix such an issue, but it's just cheaper not to. You've got to be kidding me. Okay, while this loads, I will get to the next question. K728, thank you for your first donation to today's stream. Grab yourself a power converter on your way past the commissary, not the Tashi station. Have you ever worked with Dr. Miller, the Volgan, on one of his lectures on anomalies? I have, in fact, although it was so long ago, I can't actually remember which one it was. But if you go to the Volgan's channel and you search videos with Site 42, I will come up because I've done one with him and he's done one with me. It was years ago, back when I was just getting started. It was actually super cool of Volgan to hang out with someone, do some work with someone who had less than like 10K subs at the time. Righteous dude. And now that I've gotten as a bigger channel like he is, I understand how much work is and how much you have to say no to because you're being asked for things on all sides all the time because there's so many people around. So yeah, I now understand why he's so hard to get a hold of. It's a lot. That's actually why I do these streams daily now, because I want to do something to keep in touch. I don't want to disappear. Okay, I have Hound of Tindelos here. Abilities: invulnerability to physical attacks, ripping gaze, immortality, tireless tenacity, ability to materialize through any corner if it is fairly sharp, 120 degrees or less. Oh, I remember corner dogs. Tongues and proboscis to drain body fluids, excrete blue pus or ichor, ability to inhabit the angles of time, otherworldly mind. So this is the kind of species of hunter. So why do they hunt you? That's the next question. That is their abilities, and their abilities are pretty crazy. Truly canine, but due to their tenacity. They were given the title hounds not because they are truly canine in appearance, but due to the tenacity of the hounds. They also don't appear to worship any deities and moved only by predatory instincts, giving some 939 vibes. Why do they hunt you? It doesn't say. Ah, there we go. Pursue and devour those who leave their own times. Their preys and victims possess something the hounds lack. What is it they lack is never explained. Devour any who had seen them. So first and foremost, don't time travel and don't look at them. You're getting serious 096 vibes, and you will be safe from them. That's good to know. But let's say for the sake of argument, you had seen one, and or you have traveled through time. So these things can come out of any corner, which means you need to stay in a round room. You need to stay in a round room. Now it says inhabit the angles of time, and that therefore means that you need to put yourself in stasis. You need to put yourself in a round stasis chamber to protect yourself. Now, unfortunately, you might as well be dead if you're locked in stasis forever, hiding from the hounds. But perhaps just like we try and cure diseases, and we freeze people in case that cure comes around, we would do that, and then we would have people who are aware of the situation but have not seen or be pursued by the hounds run the testing to eliminate or banish them. We have several thaumaturges who are familiar with thaumaturgical banishment, so that would be a route that I would investigate. The old reality anchor isn't going to work because they're so big and unwieldy that unless you lived by a reality anchor, that could be another option. If I built a reality anchor in my house, essentially I could live out my days in a cabin, having people bring me supplies in return for services and knowledge. But these things seem like they're not going to be taken out by conventional weapons, so it would have to be some sort of thaumaturgical banishment or reality anchor adjacency, both of the latter of which is very limiting in your life choices, the same as stasis. Noel, thank you for your next donation to the stream. Locals found GOC personnel doing experiments. Regarding the, okay. So there's GOC personnel in the Alps. I knew they were doing testing in Antarctica. I didn't know they were in the Alps right now. Keep observing. Let's see if we can get any more details on what they're up to. Silent Follower, thank you for donating again. Saw a huge plush of 049 at Millennial Games. All right, was it 049 or was it just a plague doctor? I think it's cool either way. And I also refer to any plague doctor as 049 for the bit. But just, it would be really funny if it was actually an 049. That would be cool. Silken Emperor, thank you for donating again. You were in a rush and the wiki wasn't loading. Yeah, that was exactly what was going on. Oh, that was last time too? Jesus. The database was really frustrating, but I'm glad I finally got the answer this time. Your pal Mystery, thank you for donating again. Not sure if it's an official article, but there's a story of a phone that has the SCP-1471 app and is put in SCP-914 and springs a corporeal mallow. I would need to investigate such things to see what and where they were, because I am not familiar with that tale. I wouldn't be shocked if it was a fanfic. Mallow has so many fanfic fans because the whole furry angle. Let me see if I can find what you're talking about real quick. SCP-914, SCP-1471. Maybe it's on the wiki, maybe it's not. I have an SCP explained video that is asking that very question. By the way, Mr. Yak, thank you for your first donation to today's stream. Make sure to grab yourself a mocha on your way past the commissary. And reminder, we're about 12 minutes from the end of today's coffee break. 914 was put inside of 1471 put inside 914. The researcher in this video looks like Walton Goggins. That's very funny. And then I'm looking for the description, but on mobile, there we go. There's the button. So I'm not seeing a source article within the peripheral vision. So I'm not seeing a source article, and I know for a fact that sometimes SCP Explained makes up their own fan fiction scenarios, which, you know, the whole wiki is fan fiction, so it's not like it's a crime. But yes, I tend to hold wiki canon as a little stronger than off-wiki canon, but only just barely. Dorena Borg, thank you for becoming a mobile task force captain here at Site 42. We appreciate your service and your membership. And by the way, just so you know, yesterday I uploaded 2 early access videos here on the channel. They're both SCP document readings, and the early access on the Patreon is for all paid members. The early access here is for Mobile Task Force members and up, because balancing out, the Patreons don't get anything over there except for the early access, really. Whereas here, you're also getting the, what's the phrase I'm looking for? You're also getting green name, and you're getting the emojis, and you're getting call-outs in all the streams, and the patrons don't get that as much. I'm trying to balance it all out the best I can. This is Mr. Deeds. All right, this doesn't look like it's going to tell me anything interesting. My best bet, your pal Mystery, is it seems like this might just be an SCP explained thing, unless it's in the 914 testing logs. And I'll do that as a last check. Testing. Oh, no, I won't. No, I won't, because there's actually so many pages that it is absolutely impossible to search it. That's the thing. It's so overkill. There's so many thousands of tests. It is really unnecessary and difficult to search through. I wish there was a way to search that page quicker. I'll need to work on that. Maybe someone can write a spreadsheet that's just like one long spreadsheet that goes on forever, but it would allow us to keyword search. Because right now we can't keyword search that, and that's very frustrating. Noel, thank you for donating again. Site 44 is hit by a high dosage of radiation. Oh, poor Site 44, although their shields will probably hold up. I didn't know Site 44 was by the Alps. Silent Follower, thank you for donating again. It wasn't actually 049, but imagine if it was. The plush was as big as me, 5 foot. Also, what background music is that? So, I don't know exactly when you sent that message. I'm scrolling down the donations right now. But what I'm listening to the last few streams is Kevin MacLeod's new album, Purple Galaxy. Kevin just dropped this new album, and it's a little more upbeat than the SCP album I've been listening to, which is more spooky. And after a couple weeks of the spooky dour vibes, I felt like we needed to bring the energy up. So I'm here to give you both good vibes and an SCP education. So this is the song Special Spotlight from that album. I don't know if this is the one you were thinking of, or it might have been the previous song, which is not letting me see it right now. Or it might have been Sneaky. And also, yes, I would love to see more bigger and better SCP merch in the world that could be like full-size crazy things. I still have to do a plot to do something about a body pillows joke. Give me 1 second. Someone's knocking on the door here. I'll be right back. Okay, we're back. I gotta make sure I don't blow my cover here, so apologies for that. Had to make sure everything was kosher at the door. Whew! Where was I? Yes, bigger and better merch, including I have a idea to run some anime waifu style body pillows of the SCPs. I think that'll really help us with the budget shortfall. Silken Emperor, thank you for donating again. What do you think would happen if every member of the GOC became slightly anomalous, like telekinesis or pyrokinesis? Very simply, they'd be a much greater threat. I would not like that. They already utilize enough anomalous humanoids in their forces. Pardon. We don't need all of them to have powers. Yikes. 051, thank you for your first donation to today's stream. Make sure to grab yourself a latte on your way past the commissary. The option to play the fifth has been suspended for review by the ethics committee. I believe you mean plead the fifth? Maybe? And anyways, oh, trust me, American laws and bylaws don't hold up in the Foundation in the first place. We all knew that. I mean, we are basically a walking war crime most of the time. Hey, Dr. Sherman, finally made a first name for my character, Remington. Full name, Remington La Follette. Dr. La Follette. Alrighty. Well, I will try to refer to that, but your username says Gabby, so that makes it hard. But I'll do my best. Random Fandom, good to see you in the chat. Thank you for being a member. Also, heads up everyone, we're at the 5-minute warning for stream ending. Drina Borg, hello. Thank you for being a new member. What would happen if the Shy Guy and the Unkillable Lizard got in a fight? Well, Fleming Gatan 97 Sistrand, we already had that happen once. And the result was that 096 was not able to overcome 682's ability to regenerate. And eventually 096 got tired and had an emotional tantrum at not being able to successfully end 682. So 682 essentially won that. Do you know that the government found out about the Foundation or something? Well, creator of the Enclave, another form of government I see, it turns out that depending on the canon, the US government and the world governments have varying levels of knowledge about the Foundation. For instance, the UIU, the Unusual Incidents Unit of the Federal Bureau of Investigation of the United States of America, has documentation that if you encounter an anomaly, do what you got to do to contain it and bring it back for research. But if the Foundation shows up, get out of their way, because they are better funded, they are more well equipped to handle whatever's going on. You don't want to mess with them. So in that case, the FBI does know about us, and they hands off, let the Foundation handle it. So it's a certain situation. Sometimes we have a more antagonistic, like with the UN's Global Occult Coalition. We are rivals, except for when we have to work together to save the world, I guess. Drina, thank you for your first donation to today's stream, as well as being a member. Make sure to grab yourself some biscotti on your way past the commissary. If a sentient program that can infiltrate any device were to spread throughout the internet, how would the SCP Foundation contain it? That would be up to the Artificial Intelligence Applications Division, the SCP Foundation's AIAD. You can check out their hub on the wiki. There's a lot of tales about sentient AIs, rogue sentient AIs, all sorts of artificial intelligences that our artificial intelligence constructs have had to deal with to varying degrees. Why not? Thank you for your first donation to today's stream. Make sure to grab yourself a cruller on your way past the commissary. Help, I used a humanifier on 6A2 and now he's become my best friend. What should I do now? Keep an eye on it, because it won't be long until a lizard bursts out of that human. Just trust me, it's going to be nasty. Silent Follower, thank you for donating again. Highlight of my chaotic week, your streams and just hanging out. Oh, bless, that's good to hear it. I've had a really rough couple of weeks. It's just been so busy, and I kind of got sick, and my ankle has still been bothering me, which has been emotionally draining, as well as not being able to walk. But I think it may be the heat, maybe the seasonal affective disorder is wearing off, but I think we're in for a good year, people. I think we can pull through this together. Holy, wait. Bearded Expensive, thank you for your exceptionally generous donation, the first one of today's stream. Make sure to go right past the cashiers at the commissary, go into the freezer, knock 3 times on the back left wall, and tell them that 682 is a bitch. That's the key word for this week. And then they'll let you into the real coffee shop. Ooh, c'est magnifique. Dr. Sherman, SCP-343 has presented a very difficult riddle. It reads, what is greater than God, more evil than the devil? The poor have it, the rich don't need it, and if you eat it, you'll die. Do you have any idea what he means, Dr. Williams? Yes. Well, first of all, remember, 343 is an it, not a he. SCPs are objects, not people. Proper pronouns are important. Do not humanize the anomalies. That's half the reason people keep trying to fraternize with them. So let's get our pronouns right. And on top of which, yes, what is greater than God, more evil than the devil? The poor have it, the rich don't need it, and if you eat it, you'll die? Dr. Alto Clef. Next question. All right, I should be getting off coffee break now, but I have to finish these donations real quick. Rosie, thank you for being a member, as well as your first donation to today's stream. Grab yourself an espresso lemonade on your way past the commissary. Fun fact, including this donation, I've spent 150 pounds, not including membership. Also, sorry for being late, just got here. That is exceptionally generous. Thank you for doing that and helping the cause as best you can. Please, anyone, remember, do not donate beyond your means. I appreciate all of you guys donating in. It helps us secure the Site 42 budget. It helps me keep Synth and Charles working, and Desk and helping out him and doing all sorts of stuff. The more you guys donate, the more I can get my feet steady and then lift up the other SCP artists and content creators and the people who work with our staff. So I appreciate you guys greatly, trust me. That's another reason we do these streams, is I have to give back to you guys since you guys are so generous. Samuel, thank you for donating again. We are being pushed back, need reinforcements. Once I get off stream, I will send security your way. IPPAF, thank you for your first donation to today's stream. Make sure to grab yourself a shot of espresso with a splash of oat milk on your way past the commissary. Are the SCP Foundation recognized by the UN? We are known to the UN. We don't answer to them, but they have the Global Occult Coalition, their group, and we're rivals. Why not? Help, I'm stuck in a bad joke. What should I do? Well, thank you for donating again. You need to find the first person near you, say a quick one-liner, and punch them. And that'll get you out of the joke because then you will have served the punchline. Fox Packs & Co., thank you for your first donation to today's stream. Make sure to grab yourself a cold brew on your way past the commissary. Hey Sherman, I had some of my bomb techs look through the explosives from when the Playtime Co-Factory got blown up, and does the abbreviation SCMG mean anything to you? I do not recognize that abbreviation, and I have to run in a hurry, so I don't have time to look it up, unfortunately. I will try to remember to look that up after my lab work today. Silent Follower, thank you for donating again. Bye, have a good rest of your day, Dr. Sherman. You too, Silent Follower, and you too, everyone. I appreciate you guys and your donations so much. I need to get off stream now, so if you donate again, I'm sorry, I'm doing the closing right now. The last question I'm going to answer, most of the content farm channels like Void and Rubber I don't like. SCP Explained does some decent stuff, and I like Hunter, their voice actor, so they get a pass, mostly. But I defer to content farm questions to Radiger, one of the best SCP YouTubers. Radiger's Content Farm, you should go watch it after I sign off, which is going to be now. Remember, at the end of every stream, I tell you my favorite SCPs, and I'm not going to tell you my SCPs that I've written are my favorites. That's cheating. Instead, if you want to read my SCPs, you can go to my author page on the SCP Wiki, the Sherm's SCP author page and Site42 Hub. And while you're there, if you want to help us out, you can become a patron, a channel member. You can make a one-time donation through Ko-Fi. You can buy some merch at the SCP store or at the Site42 Teespring, both work. Drina, thank you for donating again as I do this. Very nice corgi. And so, thank you guys for your support. My favorite SCPs in no particular order are SCP-3999, SCP-3043, SCP-008-J, SCP-Spooky-J, SCP-5031, SCP-5175, and SCP-8980. Huge content warning on that last one. It's rough. One more time through. 3999, 3043, 008-J, Spooky-J, 5031, 5175, 5320, and 8980 with a huge content warning. You're my favorite streamer. Well, thank you, Puppeteer. I'm doing my best. I'm just really good at yapping, I guess. And you guys are really good at giving me things to yap to. It's a two-way street. If you guys weren't giving me good questions, I couldn't give you good answers. So I appreciate you guys just as well. I will see you guys in the next streamer video. Be safe, be well, and as always, secure, contain, protect. When I was born, they looked at me and said, what a good boy, what a smart boy, what a strong boy. And when you were born, they looked at you and said, what a good girl, what a smart girl, what a pretty girl. We've got these chains hanging around our necks. People wanna strangle us with them before we take our first breath. Afraid of change, afraid of staying the same. When temptation calls, we just look away. This name is the hair shirt I wear, and this hair shirt is woven from your brown hair. This song is the cross that I bear. Bear with me, bear with me, bear with me. Be with me tonight. Bow, 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 bow. I know that it isn't right. Bow, 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 bow. Be with me tonight.